Hey, welcome to the show. You're watching Behind the Internet. I'm Aaron. I'm one of today's hosts, and I work in the Southwest Missouri, Oklahoma, and Kansas office doing outside sales. And
And I am Jesse, another host. I am in Washington, Missouri. I do field services, I do towers, and welcome to episode number 6. We just actually did this episode, but had some technical difficulties, so we get to do it
version
again.
two.
Yeah, that's right, which is fine. So it's kind of episode 7, but we're actually having somebody, Christina, check the audio right now as we speak to make sure we are good to go to move on with the episode. But
Yeah.
if it is good, I'm going to go ahead and move on. We're talking about, of course, like usual, all things the internet, and we're going to talk about communication through the internet on lots of different platforms. We're going to hone in on the main ones like Zoom, Skype, and Facebook Live. And it looks like we are good on the audio.
Yep.
All right, very good. So,
Christina's on it.
that's right. So, moving
Um,
on, and I'm just going to go over real quick, like I did
Come for
before.
it.
We're going to hone in on some of the major ones, but before the show started, I was looking at my phone and noticed like I use like 8 or 9 different platforms to communicate with people. Not only have I use Zoom and Skype and Facebook, but I do a lot of texting. I do a lot of Snapchat. Uh, Twitter, of course, with my sports, and now it's mostly the news information. Skype, which we just said, GroupMe. Discord is a big one with the gaming community. So
Yeah.
I use a ton of different platforms.
Oh yeah, for me, it's like my phone. When I look at my phone, in between, obviously Facebook, Instagram, for my social stuff. But then as far as communication goes, it's like Facebook Messenger has been like a huge part in communicating to the point like I have good friends that I see all the time outside of Facebook, do things with. I don't know their phone number. I'm gonna be if they're watching now, they're like, you don't have my phone number. Um, but no, we communicate all the time on Facebook Messenger. So that seems to be a big thing. I'm almost talking on it more than I am actually text messaging anymore. But on like a more professional avenue, it's like text messaging has been more the professional side of things. And of course, you got LinkedIn messaging now, and then you got just a few things. I've got Skype. We'll talk about Skype here in a few. Obviously, that's another huge one with me as well. And of course, page manager for all the other things I do as well as far as my social media goes. So, yeah, a lot going on. So,
No, you're absolutely right with that, and with the phone number thing, phone numbers are a thing of the past. I tell my kids, hey, know 2 really good, important phone numbers. Usually, it's your mom's phone number and it's your dad's phone number, but I don't even know if I even know my mom's phone number anymore with all the messaging and stuff going on. But yeah, we with the
yeah,
times that with the strange and dreamlike times that we're going through. Going over these topics is important with everybody quarantining, self-quarantining, staying at home,
oh
staying
yeah,
safe. Uh, these platforms that we're talking about are huge right now with communication, work, checking on family, friends, all that kind of stuff. So,
and as we go through the show, if we're talking about something, just put in a comment as far as like how you're using it because it is amazing on some of these like ways that people are using these in a creative manner just to communicate with each other, do cool, fun things that we all like to do anyway. And just to start off, like Zoom. So yeah, let's just start with it.
yeah, let's go.
Zoom has like grew. I never heard of Zoom until like a few weeks ago when I had to do a webinar. And this webinar had at least 25 people that we were all talking about photography stuff. And it was really cool. 3 main, really important photographers were on it. And they were all talking about different things on it. And it was really neat because as a first time user, there was like very little software that I had to install, very, very little. Was able to do it real super fast. They sent me a link. I clicked on it, and within like a minute, I was in the show. So if you're one of those people that like, oh man, I've never used this app before, I'm gonna have to do this an hour early just to make sure it works, so I'm not late for my work meeting, whatever the case may be. And no, it doesn't take a lot of time, and that's great even as you're planning things out. You send that link, and man, everybody can click on it right then and there. I had a Zoom meeting yesterday with two other people, and we had to um, send a new link actually during throughout the process, which I'll talk about why here in a second. Is it was real super and easy fast. Link sent. Within 5 minutes, we're back on the show again.
Right. Zoom is ease of access for most people. Just an email. It sends you an email. You click on it, and basically it's there. You're in the program. And that's why it's one of the why it's super popular right now. And I might get some of these shows jumbled up a little bit, but I know we mentioned in the past about there's a free version and a paid version. What's the difference between the two?
So the free version, you can have 3 people in a conference together at the same time, and it will only last for 40 minutes. Now, there is a cool advantage to that. If you have those people that like to talk, and you can say, we only have 40 minutes for the show. Well, in our case, 40 minutes for this meeting. Man, maybe that will,
yeah. Yep.
So
I know the rest.
Just on Sunday alone, there was 600,000 downloads just for Zoom on Sunday. So yes, obviously we got some current events going on that is saying Zoom is needed. Some really cool things that I thought was really cool with Zoom is how people are using it. So even like fitness studios are using it just to keep up with, because we all care about our fitness and our physical well-being, and it's great for mental status to continue to be physical. And so there's still a lot of that going on. So if you're a fitness person, maybe without things have changed drastically for you, there's an idea that you can do. Also, friends and family, never know. You may end up having to do a birthday party over Zoom, which would be interesting to give presents. But just a couple little thoughts. Photography classes, that's one of my personal favorites. Art classes can be done. Dance classes. You could actually look at maybe doing a date or two on Zoom. I don't know. Let me know how that works.
Yeah.
So,
no, on that note, if anybody uses Zoom and they've had some creative ways of using it, definitely post and let us know, because we're always interested on how people use these different platforms. I have read about some of the not only just like a nice birthday party, but even like a ravey type dance party people are using these things where if they can't get out of their home, they can be a part of these virtual, I guess, parties. Pretty neat. So.
Yeah, and one thing I didn't even, I went off too far on the free version, but then you can actually do a paid version, which is like $14 a month, where you can do a year annual term with them and pay like a monthly price of like $12. And when you have that, you have ability to have more people, and you can actually have like, some other cool avenues as you're hosting these parties. And usually it's the person hosting the party, they're the ones that has to pay that extra price if they want more people.
Right.
So
it's only one person paying for the paid version, and then everybody else can join that. I know a lot of businesses are using these, and wasn't there kind of a feature, a checking type feature on that I read about?
Oh yeah. So Zoom. So if your boss is listening, you might be careful on this. Is Zoom has the ability to tell the host if a person is not paying attention or not. So if the person's back, basically, not there, the camera, I'm assuming it uses the camera feature to sense the focus patterns, and it says whether or not this person is paying
Well, you can see if a person's not there, but sometimes someone will have the Zoom minimized and doing other things, watching YouTube or whatever. And I believe after about 30 or 40 seconds, it will tell the host like, hey, the Zoom product for this person isn't in focus, which to me would cause a lot of false positives, because you could be focused in, but have a notepad or doing some research on the topic for more than 30 seconds. So I don't know. I'm a little sketchy on that. I don't like that little checking trust.
This just gave me an idea. There could be people like printing their whole face and putting it on a stick in front of their camera. So students, kids, if you're listening to this, don't do that. Okay. So, to make it look like you're there. One other cool thing though, is if you are, let's just say you're not a morning person and you have that 8 o'clock Zoom meeting and you have to be ready for it, there's a cool little feature. You go down to the video settings for Zoom and there's a filter on there that says touch up my appearance. So if you want that silky smooth skin like Jesse has here, and so then that will give you that touchy, silky, smooth skin. So something to remember, especially early in the mornings for those early morning Skypes. So I didn't even know about that. And I even had a Skype meeting yesterday at 8 o'clock in the morning. So
yeah, 2 things. I don't use filters ever. And also, while we're on the topic, we are talking about these different platforms, but as a company, Whisper, we don't endorse any. We're just talking about things that we just happen to use and have success with. So anything that we talk about, nothing endorsed here. So
yeah, absolutely.
Very good. So anyways, that was you have anything else on Zoom?
No.
Go ahead and let me know, but we can move on to our next one, which is one of the favorites of mine, and we use it all the time, which is Skype. I've been using that platform for at least, it seems like 20 years now, and we use that. So with Whisper uses that quite a bit for communication. We have a bunch of different Facebook groups, depending on what department you're in, when it comes to field techs, supports, inventory, all sorts of, and there's probably like 5 more I can rail off that I'm a part of, that I'm getting notifications all the time. But we use Skype for communication all the time. Just a quick example, if I'm at a tower site, tower climb, or if I'm at someone's location and I need help with something, I can just boom, type it in my Skype on my phone, and I get an answer or a call within seconds most of the time.
Yes, and I think just through work, I'm a member of I'm in 6 different Skype groups right now. So it's like my phone, if I don't go to inactive on my Skype, my phone goes ding, 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 ding all the time with all those groups. So, but it's still like, oh yeah, if I'm not, I mean, I woke up to like 4 in the morning and they're talking about, technical issues, and like, okay, cells, click. Okay. So, but hey, I'm always there to help. So, absolutely. It's just, it's why I'm in those groups a lot of times. And plus, I'm always there for the customers anyway. So, it helps. It really, and like you said, especially when you're out in the field and something's wrong and you're like, with our team of people that we have in our offices, that you can I have this problem, and I have at least 1 or 2 people in one of those groups saying, hey, did you check this? Oh, hey, no. So that's how we use Skype, and Skype is really, really great.
Yeah, a lot of different platforms that do the same thing for work, obviously, and there might be some better ones out there. If anybody uses a different work platform like we use Skype, definitely let us know in the comments. I mentioned earlier about Skype being one of my favorites, just because I've used it for so long. It keeps me, it's what my family predominantly uses, I believe, for keeping in touch with the video part of it. I've used the video part of Skype for ages, when it's communicating with my parents, or I've got brothers and family up in Minnesota, and in Seattle, in Kansas City, just all over the place, and we're in constant communication on, like a platform like Skype and video all the time. I've been moved out of the house for 20, 30 years now, it seems like, or 20, 25 years now, and away from these people physically, but it feels like I'm with them all the time just because of the of Skype and platforms like this that when we do have a reunion of some kind and we're together, it's nice to be physically with somebody and you get a good hug in, but it feels like I just saw you. I just talked to you yesterday. So it's pretty neat the way things are these days. And it's super important right now with things that are going on with the COVID-19 and people self-quarantining or having to quarantine or being at home. These things are absolutely a must when it comes to keeping up with work and checking on people. And Skype is another one of those big programs that are used out there.
Some of the cool things with Skype that's being used for is and obviously at any time is therapy sessions. If you need something going on right then and there, and I know a lot of times a face-to-face conversation is 10 times better, and it really helps fill that gap instead of just being on the phone with somebody. So with the therapy sessions, and it could be something later on that we can see, we're already seeing like teledoc stuff be real common, but it could be more, a physician could even use this as well to communicate with their clients. So we're seeing a lot of that too, and it's a great way to just keep things moving. So
no, I'm glad you touched up on the physician. Just last night I was at home watching TV, and it was a news station, and they had a doctor on Skype with an interview, and he actually had the virus, and he was self-quarantine and just telling us, step by step on the day that he found out, and just each day and how it progressed, and he's almost all the way through it now, and just giving us a good success story of many people of getting the virus and getting through it. And he was using Skype as a platform in his bedroom to let everybody know that everything's okay. So I thought that was pretty neat and encouraging.
Yeah.
So.
That is pretty neat.
Yeah.
So, and I think we kind of touched anything else you got on Skype there?
Nope. Definitely one of my favorites, and something we use pretty much 24 hours a day. So looks like the next one we have on our list is extremely popular one, Facebook Live, just for the sheer amount of people who use it. And and of course we're using it right now for this show.
It's, and especially I hope you're watching us right now on Facebook Live, and because we know we leave this on our page for a while, and so Facebook Live is really great, really popular with everybody. It's a great way to reach out to a lot of people all at the same time, all at once. Church services are using it a lot now, and in fact, it seems to be I'm seeing it. We've had a lot of churches just sign up for our service through Whisper just for streaming Facebook Live. So, which is pretty awesome, and that they're using that kind of technology to reach out to more people that can't always make it to church. So, and in fact, we're going to kind of do a few things later this week with some Facebook Live in churches and kind of show how they're doing it. Another cool one that I thought was awesome was acoustic concerts. And so if you're a musician out there right now, you want to work with a venue, man, it would be cool, set up in the venue and just use Facebook Live, and you still play music just like you have an audience there. So, you still get some interaction there as far as the comments go, stuff like that. So you still get some interaction. And I think that's pretty awesome as well.
Yeah, three things to follow up and touch up on. Church services. I was part of a church plant recently, and we Facebook Live showed it. And sometimes it seemed like there was more people watching on the Facebook Live than they were attending, and it worked out for a lot of our family members too that weren't able to leave the home because of certain ailments or whatever, and so they counted on that Facebook Live. I know a ton of churches are doing it already. And it was just it was either last night or the night before. I heard some talking in the bedroom. My wife was watching something. I'm like, Are you talking to somebody in there?" And she's like, "No, I'm watching a Facebook Live. Somebody is just recording a burning building in her hometown, a building that caught on fire, and this person was just there showing everybody what was going on and doing some commentary on it, which was terrible for the building, but kind of neat for that instant news and what's going on in that. You don't have to be a news person to broadcast news. You can just be anything or anybody out there with a phone and Facebook on it. Mm-hmm. Acoustic, your music session too. Again, just yesterday, one of the people that I follow, his name's G Love. I've been following for a long time. He was just at his house and put his phone on Facebook Live and just played through one of his songs, and you know his son was running around in the background getting into stuff, and it was pretty neat how people are using Facebook Live to reach out to people out there, especially when they can't get out themselves. It's a great avenue to keep in touch.
Yes. And Facebook's so popular, and especially like you mentioned, news medias are using it. A lot of news medias, and we live in that society. Like we want to know more, and so Facebook is like when we know there's something going on, it's like instant reaction. We all turn to Facebook because the news medias are even using Facebook to reach more people with the live broadcast and with people in general, just going around and getting more information and able to put it out there on Facebook. So you feel like you kind of know everything that's kind of going on, even though you may not be there. Right. So yeah, it's pretty cool how far we've came over the years, for sure.
Yeah, and just like anything, there's a lot of information out there that probably needs to be filtered, and you need to do your own research on.
That's very true. Yes, very true. So,
but I was gonna besides those few things that we touched on, and I might have gone over it at the very beginning too, but are there any extra ones that you've gone through yourself?
Yeah, so I was just kind of doing some research on like what the top 10 are, and it was pretty interesting. Like, of course, we got GoToMeeting. GoToMeeting is a real popular one as well. In fact, it came up number one with a website, VoIPreview.org. Mm-hmm. And so they listed out the top 10. GoToMeeting was number one. PixIP. Hadn't really ever heard of that, but it came in number 2.
Yeah, if it's number 2, it sounds like it's a big one that we need to do some research on.
I agree, and that may be something that, like, if somebody else is in the audience has used this, send us a comment. We're kind of interested in this. And so, and then number 3, which is one I've used but never really used for a video conference, was TeamViewer. Mm-hmm. TeamViewer is really cool. I use it a lot. If I know somebody is, especially in the photo world, it seems like, hey, how do you do this? Then I can actually, like with TeamViewer, I can go on there and say, oh, do this, or even if
you can go onto their computer through TeamViewer. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. Yeah, it's like a remote access. We use that even a lot with Whisper. Mm-hmm. I've been, when I was doing tower work, it's like, man, I'd hook in my computer and a radio. Somebody here in the office was able to program that radio or help me diagnose what the problem is going on. So very cool. I literally sat there and just watched them program a whole entire radio on my laptop and never even touched it.
Yeah, it's neat. We were just using it in this conference room yesterday. We had 2 radios we were having some issues with. used TeamViewer, put it on the big screen. Everybody was, viewed in or remote into the same computer, and they brought up a notepad on the front of the screen where they communicate. They just type on the notepad like, "Hey, my name is Rick," we'll say, and "How are you doing?" They're like, they would say who's all in the room, and then you just kind of go and watch things. It's a pretty awesome program, and we use it in the tech field all the time.
Oh yeah, it's great stuff. I enjoy watching it. So I know there's so many others out there as far as video conferencing, and if you've used any of them that we haven't mentioned, and throw them out there. We're not endorsed by any of these that we've mentioned today, and it's obviously, we want to know how you're using them to be more creative and to reach out to more people. If you're the fitness person that's using them for the fitness classes or the dance classes, I've seen some, dance schools already use them with different dancers and actually all bring them in so they can still do, that's a hobby that you always have to be caught up on. So that's pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So let us know how you're using it.
Yeah, make a comment if it's now or if it's after the fact when we post it. We'll have some links on the page. If you have any questions, we'll always answer those. And even if it's you have the Whisper internet and you're having issues, let us know. We're the internet first responders, and until someone says government-wise you cannot go out and do the best we can to get you up and running again. So please definitely let us know. Be safe out there. We'll be back again next month, usually the third Thursday of every month for another one, and with some more some input on the internet and hopefully some more good news out there. So be safe, everybody. Anything else you got there, Aaron?
Nope, I think that's going to do it for us. And thank you for joining us today. And again, be safe out there. And we're definitely here for the community as well. So other than that, everybody have a great day.